In this lecture, we'll be animating our IK leg with a simple jump animation. Okay, so here's where we got up to last time, and it's time for animating. So I'll start at frame 1. I'll select my upper leg, jump to side view, G to grab in the Z axis. And what's great about this, I can bring this down and I don't have to sort out the other bones in the chain. I'll select all, and this time I press I to insert a keyframe and location and rotation. So all the bones have got a keyframe, go across to 15 frames, select my upper leg, G to grab in the Z, move that up. Looks a little bit strange at the moment because I need to move this one up with it. So G, then Z, and we probably just want a little bit of a bend around there. Oh, I have forgotten to press the record button, so do remember that. So I'll press the record button, but I'll also press A and I to insert a location and rotation keyframe for all the bones. Let's select the foot bone here, rotate that down, rotate the toes down so they look a bit like this. Then I'll select everything with A, select the summary keyframe at the start and duplicate it to the end. Let's see what that looks like. It's not too bad. I'll just press play and see how it works. It's not too bad. It comes off the floor really quickly though, so we could do a little bit of animating there. So after frame 5, let's say, I'll just move in a bit. I need to rotate this foot bone here and rotate the toes, probably a little bit more than that, maybe around about there somewhere. It's not particularly accurate the way it jumps, but it kind of works. There's a little bit where it goes through the floor as well, and I could easily sort that out by just rotating it a bit there, so it doesn't go through the floor and it jumps up. Could do with a little bit longer in the middle perhaps. I'll select this bone and this bone, as they're the only two that are controlling the movement. Control Tab to go to the graph editor. Now I can tell instantly that it's this curve and this curve, because they're the widest. But why are they different axes? Have a quick think. Well, it's to do with the bone orientation in local view. Remember, we can go across to the object data properties, down to viewport display and show the axis. I'll have to zoom in for this one because it does depend on the size of the bone. I'll just quickly go into wireframe mode so you can see that. You can probably just about see that there's the Z axis going up. So this bone's local orientation is the Z going up. So I know it's this curve going up here because it's in blue. Whereas the top bone, we can see the Y going in this direction. Therefore, we need the Y orientation to be affected. So I can select both those, go to the individual centers and scale them up in the X. I'll go back to solid mode, back to side view and zoom out so we can see what it looks like. So it's just a bit longer in the middle there. I think the whole animation is a little bit long as well. So I'm just going to press Control Tab, select all, go to the beginning and scale it down to about 20. We'll see how that looks. Oh, I didn't have all my keyframes selected. So remember to select all your keyframes with A, then scale down to about 20. And I'll change the end of the animation to 20 as well. So it jumps up nice and quick. That's more fun, I think. Okay, so now's a good time to pause the video and catch up with me and animate your jumping leg. Okay, there is one more thing that I want to show you. Let's go to the start keyframe once again. If I want to change my animation in any way, it's nice and easy with this setup. So let's say I don't want the character to squat down quite as much. I can select my top bone, G then Z, and move it up slightly. And of course, remember to copy that keyframe from the beginning to the end. And then we got this sort of jump. So editing was so much faster. And that's why we use an IK system to animate our legs. So as a quick challenge to you, change the starting and ending position of your animation so the character doesn't squat down so far. Once you've done that, you don't need to save your work, but you might want to for a reference, as we won't be reusing this file.